We will now look at how to enter data on the labor and crop inventory worksheets on the Whole Farm tab. The labor and crop inventory worksheets are key data entry worksheets in the Whole Farm tab of the AgriProfits Business Analysis Program. The focus of the labor worksheet is to provide a way of estimating labor by activity and then allocating that activity's labor by a percentage to a specific enterprise. The allocation of labor and its cost is important in calculating the cash and non-cash expenses in the cost of production. Most farm businesses do not typically record labor in this sense. Salaried employees' hours are often recorded, but labor hours for the operator or the unpaid family labor are not generally kept or allocated to a specific enterprise. The labor worksheet provides activity rows to estimate the amount of time spent by different classes of labor: operator, unpaid family, and paid wages and salary, family and employees. It is helpful to think of each person involved separately and to estimate the hours prior to moving to the next person. Be careful not to double count hours. Think of each activity as mutually exclusive, as often the operator may do more than one activity at once. The labor worksheet relies on your best estimates. The crop inventory worksheet tracks the flow of crops and rations through the farm over the course of the reported year. It is where feeds, at market value, are transferred to the livestock enterprises. And accounts for crops and feeds purchased or sold in the reported year. Start by gathering the crop's inventories from various sources you may have. This could be an electronic bookkeeping program like AgExpert, or from the AgriStability Crop Inventory Worksheet. Begin by completing the opening and closing inventory columns. List the quantity and market value per unit for crops, forages, and feedstuffs on hand on the farm. Remember that the unit type must be consistent. Use the drop-down menu as a guide. When reporting bales, enter the weight of the bale in pounds. Enter the moisture level individually for each bale or feed. Weight and moisture level will determine the market value of the bale or feed. Enter the production by commodity. If the crop worksheets have already been completed, a reasonable estimate of production can be used from these worksheets. If not, it is suggested to complete the crop worksheets prior to the crop inventory worksheets. It is helpful to enter each crop as a separate line, as the crop may be of different quality and value. A previous year's inventory may be separated for the same reasons or to keep track of what was fed to the livestock first. This can be identified in the farmer description cell. To deal with homegrown seed, you have had to have grown the seed in the previous year and recorded it in the opening inventory. This amount would have to be recorded on the asset worksheet as opening or closing inventory. The homegrown seed entry must be completed in the crop inventory worksheet to balance the row. Include a note in the farmer description cell to avoid double accounting. The last step, if applicable, is to estimate the use of feed by the cow, calf, and backgrounding enterprise. Working through this process, you will get a reliable estimate of the amount of feed put in front of the livestock, and indirectly, a balance for what may have been wasted. A good place to start is to break it down to estimate daily use or consumption by head and multiply by days fed or grazed. This ends this module. Remember to save your data frequently as you move through the worksheets. If you have more questions, refer to the AgriProfits Help tab, AgriProfits Data Entry Help Manual, or ask AgriProfits staff for help.